here to show you how to make a liner for your happy sack. This is kind of what it looks like finished, and how I have a decorative pattern on the inside and is a solid color on the outside. Honestly, you can just use whatever you have. And then basically it's supposed to slip into your happy sack like so. And then you're basically going to glue the edges down onto the zipper. You can, if you'd like, you can sew it along the edges, but I feel like the sewing machine would hate the corners here, like where the zippers are. So I would do that at your own risk. But here we go. So once you have a finished happy sack, if you have your handle, if not, that's fine. The handle is optional. You're going to use basically a finished sack and place it on top of a piece of fabric. So what I do is I just line it up and I give myself some room around. I usually say like just about like a 1/4 inch or so, and I think this fabric has a little thing over here, like looks like I don't know what to call it, like little holes. So I'm gonna try to get around that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay the happy sack down and I'm going to cut around it. I'm basically going to leave room, like I had said before, and this way it gives me like a seam allowance. So while I'm sewing it around, I have some wiggle room. And you want to make sure you get the rounded corners. And no, I do not know how to cut straight, so let's throw that out of the way now. I also don't know how to sew that great either, so follow this at your own risk. Here it goes. All right, so I cut one piece out, and now I'm going to use this piece as a template, and you're going to want 4 pieces in total. So you're going to want 2. I use a pattern for the inside of the pouch, so you want 2 patterned pieces and then 2 solid pieces, like a solid color. But if you have all patterns or all solid, that's fine too. You just want 4 pieces. So I'm going to use it as a template for all the other pieces. That way I'm not like moving the sack around too much. And then all of them will be kind of like the wrong size. So, ooh. So after you have all your pieces cut, you're going to want to grab your zipper. For these, I use an 8-inch zipper. And you're going to want to place the inside fabric down first, pattern side up. So you'll notice sometimes if you have a patterned fabric that the back side is not patterned. So you're going to want it to be facing up, and you're going to place your zipper right along the top edge, like so. And then you're going to take your outside fabric and you're going to place it right on top, and you're basically going to sandwich it. And we're going to clip this down, that way I know where to sew. But you basically want to line this up. And for the sake of this video, I'm not going to sew this part just yet, but if I were you, I would go ahead and sew this down. There it goes. Okay, so once you've sewn this part down, basically the sandwich, the 2 fabric pieces in the zipper, you're going to basically flip your work like so, and you're going to want to repeat that step on the other side. And yes, my fabrics are going to be kind of funky because I have the clips here, but just bear with me here. So now that your fabric is on one side, we're going to put the fabric on the other side. So we're going to repeat that last step again. Put down your inside fabric down first, put the zipper right along the top edge, and then you're going to sandwich it with your outside liner, and then you're going to sew right along this line as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed. I don't know what word to use there, but I just put all my pieces together onto the zipper, and you'll notice that it's basically sandwiched like so. We're going to basically pull the fabrics apart. I don't know how to word that. I probably should have had my cliff notes here, but I didn't. So basically, you're going to want to separate the fabric. So I put my outside fabric on one side with my inside fabric and then on the other side. That way it's separated and you could see. I love how I'm losing my words here, but maybe the visual is helpful. Okay, this is totally optional, but I've learned this, I think, in the last couple of weeks or so. You can add a top stitch right on top of the liner, like here. That way, when you open and close the zipper, the fabric doesn't like bunch up and then get caught into the zipper. So that is an option if you want to do that. I'm going to do that. That way, it's nice and pretty and set. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like here. So this is kind of what the top stitch looks like. It just kind of helps the fabric stay put, like stay down. So like when you're opening and closing the pouch, the liner isn't like bunching up. I already said that, right? I'm gonna go ahead and do that top stitch and I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and added the top stitch. It's not perfect, but it's cute. Again, I don't cut in a straight line, nor do I sew in a straight line. So if I can't do any of those things, like I'm sure this one should be easy for you to do. Okay, now next part is we're going to undo our zipper about 3/4 of the way. This is very important. If you don't undo your zipper, then you're not gonna be able to turn the liner inside out. So now we're going to match up our outside fabrics together, and then we're going to match up our inside liners together and basically flip it like so. And here's a little fun fact is you want your zipper teeth to be towards the inside of the liner. I don't know where I learned this, but it definitely helped me. So you want to make sure that the zipper teeth are folded within the inside of the liner. So from here, I'm going to just kind of clip this down, or you can use pins. I use these binding clips. So I'm gonna do my zipper first, make sure that it's facing the right way. And then I'm gonna probably clip the rest of this, but I don't wanna wow, look how uneven I am. Don't look at this. Anyway, you're gonna want to sew around the basically the perimeter, but you're gonna wanna leave an opening on the inside. So don't sew here. So you're gonna wanna start here, go around, and then stop. You wanna make sure there's a little opening for you to be able to pull the liner inside out. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to sew around, except for this little opening here, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed around the liner and I left this little part open. So now we're going to basically flip this inside out now. You can, if you want, to cut the excess off. I may just cut this off so it's not so bulky on the inside. Just a little piece of it. Okay. You can also cut off the excess fabric around if you'd like. Totally optional. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the liner inside out. So far this is what it looks like. So now you have this opening here and you're gonna want to close that. So we're just gonna do a stitch, stitch right on top here. I do it really close to the edge. That way it's like sort of unnoticeable, but I'm sure it's noticeable to some. So let me see if I can pull this one out. So I basically sew right on top. It's really not that bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and sewed the opening shut, and now I'm going to just put the inside fabric inside of the pouch, like inside of the liner, and then poke my corners out, make sure that everything is nice. You could have totally ironed this if you wanted to. I clearly did not, so that's a personal choice, I guess. My iron wasn't plugged in, so I was like, who cares? All right, so now from this step, you're going to put it inside of your happy sack or whatever crocheted pouch you're making, because this should work for pretty much almost anything. And from here, you're going to basically just play around with it, make sure that it fits nice. You're going to want to put fabric glue. I use this one. Wow, it's very, there you go, Super Fabric Adhesive by, I'm gonna say this is Eileen's or Aleen's, I don't know. I don't know if that's an I or an L, whatever. I use this, and I'm going to place the glue right here on the, basically on that top stitch. You don't want it too close to the zipper, because when you're opening and closing the zipper, you don't want it to get caught into the stitches. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I'm gonna use these binding clips to hold it together. I might have to go grab more binding clips because I think I left them all at my sewing machine. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, and there you have it. So I went ahead and glued everything down, and now we're just gonna give it probably an hour or so to dry. And then once it's dry, you'll just unclip all of these and then test out your zipper, and it should be done. So this also, this happy sack pattern also can work with finished like pre-made liners if you decide. So for these, you'll just basically work up your happy sack for how big or tall it needs to be. So I believe this one should fit. Let me see if I could show you. This one should fit, yep. So the only difference with the pre-made liners at that is basically a sharp edge, like a sharp corner. So they don't have like the rounded edges, which is totally fine. So you'll be doing basically the same thing you just saw me do on that one. You're going to glue right along the edge of the pre-made liner, and then glue and then clip. Make sure your zipper is open for this part. That way you're able to get your clips in to hold it tight. If you don't have binding clips, maybe you can do like a book, like a heavy book, and just do one side at a time. And then when you're ready to do your corners, you're just gonna fold your corners like so, and then put the book on top. But these clips definitely come in handy, especially if you're sewing your own liner. So definitely recommended. But thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. Thank you so much for purchasing the pattern if you have, and hopefully you like your finished product. I can't wait to see it. So tag me on Instagram if you'd made one, or leave a comment below. If you have any questions about these, like the finished, like, or not finished, but the liner that you have to make yourself, just shoot me a message here. You can leave a comment, or you can find me on Instagram. I also do have an email as well that you can contact me through. It's on my Instagram bio. So thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.